Welcome to your Barbados Today evening news update for Wednesday, January 16. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. 2 men are nursing minor injuries while management at one of the island's largest alcohol brands is counting its losses following a fire at the Mount Gay Distillery in St. Lucie earlier today. Fire officials, police and medical personnel responded to the blaze, which engulfed a 300,000-gallon alcohol tank around 2 p.m. Over 25 officers and 6 fire trucks brought the fire under control. However, Deputy Chief Fire Officer Henderson Patrick told media personnel that the danger has not been completely averted.
The roof of the tank has been ruptured, allowing the flames that is burning the alcohol to escape. And what we are currently engaged in as part of the operations is to ensure that we apply alcohol-resistant foam to the situation. The intent really is to initially go for extinguishment so that we would try to keep the integrity of the tank in place, because if it continues, the danger exists that it could be breached and then present additional challenges that we perhaps would have to contend with a little later on.
Officer Patrick also provided an update on those injured, while management declined to give a comment.
At least 2 persons have been sent for medical attention. It is difficult at this point in time to determine the level of injury that they may have sustained. If there no injuries of concern, I believe it is preliminary. But nobody else within the vicinity that we were made aware of suffered any injuries or damage from the incident.
The Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology has been marked as one of the institutions that will help drive the island's economy. Word of this from Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, Senator Dr. Romel Springer. Addressing the launch of the Institute's 50th anniversary celebrations this morning, Senator Springer said the institution will be expected to guide the government as it conducts its retraining and retooling exercise for retrenched public sector workers.
Right now, the country is going through a transition. And we are talking every day about retraining and retooling. We also reimagine where we can take this country. And we have to look to you here at the SJPI for guidance and for instruction. So your role is going to become even more critical in 2019 than it would have been in previous years, because we're going to look to you to assist us in retraining our people. And not only retraining them with the necessary soft skills, because they don't need those skills, but the mindset has to change. We have to embrace the technology. We have to embrace those best practices, seek them out wherever they are, and bring them here to this institution so that Barbadians can benefit from these best practices and the technology that exists.
2 Canadian visitors who pleaded guilty to importing marijuana into Barbados have been remanded to HMP Dodds. 18-year-old Janella Christie Mylord Ashford and 20-year-old Mark Dawins Simmons also pleaded guilty to possession with intent to supply, and trafficking of the illicit substance. They were caught on January 13 when they arrived at the Grantley Adams International Airport. The 2 will reappear before Magistrate Laurie Ann Smith-Bovell in the District B Magistrates Court on January 29. A Barbadian man wanted by Canadian authorities will know on Friday whether he will be extradited. 64-year-old Errol Vivian Jones of Bridgeville St. Thomas will have his time in the District D Magistrates Court on January 18 after Magistrate Douglas Frederick offered him bail in the sum of $15,000 and adjourned the matter when he appeared in the District A Magistrates Court today. Acting Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, Anthony Blackman, who appeared on behalf of the Crown, revealed that Jones was residing in Canada when he was convicted of drug-related offenses on November 11, 1993 and August 31, 1994. As a result, he was ordered to serve a term of imprisonment of 6 years, 4 months and 7 days. However, after serving 1,430 days in prison, Jones was released on full parole. As part of his conditions, he was required to report to his probation officer. But on October 10, 1997, Jones failed to report, leading to warrants of suspension and apprehension being issued by the Correctional Services of Canada.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In news from our regional neighbors, St. Lucia defends its decision not to recognize the legitimacy of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. The Venezuelan leader was sworn into office for the second term last week. More in this report from HTS News Force.
St. Lucia joined 18 other members of the Organization of American States OAS Permanent Council to not recognize the legitimacy of Nicolas Maduro's second term as Venezuelan president. The resolution was approved with 19 votes in favor, 6 against, 8 abstentions, country not present. St. Lucia's ambassador to the OAS, Anton Edmond, said while Venezuela remains a friend of St. Lucia, its political, economic and humanitarian crisis threatens all. Minister with responsibility for external affairs, Sarah Flood Bobris, says St. Lucia has many concerns.
The breakdown of the democratic process leading up to the elections that were held, the humanitarian crisis that exists in Venezuela. We know that more than 2.3 million people have fled Venezuela because of the worsening conditions there. We are very concerned, of course, in terms of our own security.
And finally, UK Prime Minister Theresa May has seen off a bid to remove her government from power, winning a no-confidence vote by 325 to 306. The MPs, who 24 hours earlier rejected the PM's Brexit plan by a huge margin, on Wednesday voted to keep her at Downing Street.
Theresa May has narrowly survived a vote of no confidence in her government.
The noes have it. Unlock!
But that doesn't alleviate the deepest political crisis in half a century as the UK grapples with how or even whether to exit the European Union.
The House has put its confidence in this government. I stand ready to work with any member of this House to deliver on Brexit and ensure that this House retains the confidence of the British people.
On Tuesday, Parliament rejected May's Brexit deal with the EU by the worst margin for a British government in modern times.
The sheer incompetence.
The opposition Labour Party then triggered a vote of no confidence. May's minority government needed the support of a majority of lawmakers, something they achieved by a margin of 19 votes. That was done by May securing the backing of Northern Irish allies the DUP and rebels within her own party.
Going to the people.
But May's deal, what opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn called her Frankenstein deal, is still
officially dead.
That's left her scrambling to find a compromise that would avoid a no-deal Brexit or a second referendum on EU membership. May is required to go back to Parliament by the end of Monday with a motion setting out her next steps.
To that end, I've proposed a series of meetings between senior parliamentarians and representatives of the government over the coming days.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.